Welcome back, my friends, to Badass is the New Black podcast. I am your host, Chrissy Chin. Here on the podcast, I am all about helping you turn your passion or your side hustle and turning it into a real business. So here on the podcast, we talk about how to stand out online in this noisy world with a badass brand, and how to leverage social media and the internet to build a huge business. And my favorite part that we talk about on the podcast is how to scale through automation so that you can work less and enjoy more. Today, the major question is to believe or not to believe. So there has to be a tiny part of you that believes in yourself. If you don't believe at all, then you will not budge. And if you don't budge, then you won't build. And if you don't build, then you won't reach success. So regardless of what your definition of success is, if you even have just the tiniest bit of belief in yourself, then you can use that tiny belief to fuel it into more belief that will eventually bleed success. It's like starting a fire versus enhancing a spark. Okay, so to start a fire from scratch, you need wood and you need friction and you need a ton of work. So much that if you have never been trained to build a fire from scratch using wood and friction, then you probably will quit before you ever create that spark. Right? But if you have some small hot coals that drop to the bottom that you can just easily blow on, that ignite into a flame with a lot less effort, then it will be that much easier. So as soon as you see that flame, you generate even more confidence. You're like, dang, I just started a fire. Like, we don't have to tell anyone it wasn't from scratch, right? That it was with sticks and kindling and friction, right? We can just blow on those coals that we have sitting deep inside ourselves, and we can turn that into a flame. And when we see that flame, we can let that confidence grow inside of us, and we can let it fuel into something amazing. So you had to put in a lot less effort to reach that giant flame of success when you had that tiny ounce of belief to start with, right? So whatever you do, find a way to have even the tiniest bit of belief in yourself. And then when you have the smallest gain or that initial flame, you use that to fuel yourself into more belief until you have so much belief that you're unstoppable. Let's take a tiny little break from this badass podcast to talk about Kajabi, or as my husband calls it, Punjabi. Babe, it starts with a K. Kajabi. This is the platform that literally makes all the magic happen. It's plug and play, no coding necessary. And guess what, you guys? The best thing about it is that you get your very own mobile app with it. I looked into building an app and it was going to be over $100,000. You get your own right there. The platform is so affordable too. So instead of paying for individual platforms like your CRM system, which is going to host your email, your landing pages, which is going to capture your email, your website, which is going to be where all the magic happens, a community space, it's literally all in one. So it doesn't matter if you want to host courses, educational classes, have libraries in there for your team. This is absolutely the way to go. And I have a month free for you to check it out. So hop over to my website, thechrissychin.com/Kajabi, Kajabi, and you can check out a month for free. I cannot wait to see what you create. Please do me a favor. Send me a DM, send me an email once you've created something so I can see it and check it out. Can't wait for you to get started and scale your business like a badass boss. All right, let's get back to the podcast. Over the course of launching Build a Blissful Business, I've witnessed over and over again people who are really struggling to believe in themselves. And it's coming across as other excuses, but I know that it's rooted in fear. And if you live in fear, then you really aren't living at all. You know, I was scared to launch the Chrissy Chin brand, this new brand, after having such success with Grow Workspace. And I was fearful of what people would say about me. I was fearful of what people would think about me. I was scared that it would be a total flop. And so I made up excuse after excuse that I was like, yeah, these are legit like excuses. I don't have enough time, or whatever, anything that I could come up with, right? To just kind of push that off and not push myself forward. And finally I said, you know what? I am not going to listen to that part of my brain that we've talked about before on here, that part that tries to validate that we aren't good and that we aren't deserving and that we aren't enough and that we can't do it and all of the things. And I am going to just blow that little spark that I have that believes in myself, and I'm going to do something amazing with it. And I'm about to start training 30 students to build their freaking amazing businesses through my Build a Blissful Business course. And it feels so, so good to be able to serve more and do more because I blew on that tiny spark of belief that I had in myself to start this new brand to coach women and network marketers and entrepreneurs and small business owners and coaches on how to build a real legit business online just like I did. And 1 year from today, I'm going to look back on this day, mark my words, and I'll have helped thousands. And I will say, wow, gosh, if I hadn't grasped onto that tiny little spark of belief eventually, right? Like, I know there was some doubt and fear that held me back, but eventually I was like, you know what? I'm going to blow on this spark and I'm going to see what can happen. And if I hadn't done that, then I wouldn't have helped all of these people and given more life to the world. So I'm asking you, can you take your tiny spark, because I know that you have a tiny spark in there, and can you, instead of dismiss it and push it aside and push those fears aside, can you give that tiny spark a little bit of oxygen, a little bit of breath on that tiny spark, just a little blow, and let it fuel into something really extraordinary, mixing my words up, that I know you have inside you. I believe in you. I believe in you so hard, but you have to embrace that tiny belief in yourself. And listen, I'm pointing to my brain, pointing to my ears now. Listen to the people around you that are telling you, you have something special. You have something amazing. Wow, look at all that skill and that talent you have. You should really show that to the world. Stop dismissing what they're saying about you and use that as validation to fuel your tiny spark of belief. Okay, that's what I want you to do. So you're going to envision that spark and you're going to use your breath to blow on it. You're not literally going to do that. What you're going to do is you're going to know that you have this tiny bit of belief inside you, and you're going to use the validation around you as that oxygen to fuel your fire into something really, really amazing. I know you can do it. I want to hear your stories about how when you finally just let those people that are validating you and those things that are validating you, people following you, commenting on your posts, maybe they're reaching out, asking you questions, people are seeing something special in you and telling you, that is validation, my friends. Or even just getting up and doing it again and just seeing the fact that you can put something out there. That is validation that you can do this. So listen to that. Listen to that and let it fuel into something amazing. Come over to Instagram, come over to Facebook, hop into my DMs and my private messages and send me your stories. Send me maybe the fears that you have and what you've overcome, or send me a little note about what jumped out for you or what's been holding you back and that you realize, gosh, it wasn't really that. It was actually fear that was holding me back from something really amazing. So I want to hear your stories. I want to connect with you. I want to know what's going on in your life right now and in your business right now. And I want to know where you want to take it and where you want to go. So come over, connect with me and share with me. If you missed the window to enroll and build a blissful business because the doors are closed right now, you can certainly hop on the wait list. You can do that by going to thechrissychin.com/BBB waitlist. or you can go to my website, The Chrissy Chin. You can find it under the waitlist under courses, which is under the Work With Me tab. So hop over there, get your name on the waitlist so you can stay in the know, and keep connecting with me over on Instagram and over on Facebook. I'm going to be doing more videos over there, so go like and follow so you can be in the know on what is going on. Until next week, go find that one little piece of validation and let it fuel your spark into fire. Bye for now, my friends. We'll see you later.